Hello everyone, it's me Doomlink, and welcome back to the Doomlink's Live Hunts series. I'm really pleased to say that we're finally able to play Freedom 1 today. I have people to hunt with, the circumstances are right, the stars are aligned, and the moon is blue, etc, etc. Pigs are also flying as we speak. But yeah, it is Freedom 1 time, and I don't really know how many people I can expect to be hunting with for the duration of this live stream. At the moment, it's one other person besides myself, so while that's not ideal, it's probably acceptable. I can live with that. We are going to be doing a single Azure Rathalos though, and the reality is that single G-rank monsters in this game take some time to die, so hopefully everything will be under control. If I struggle to make any selections when playing the game, like whether it's accepting quests or buying things, who knows, anything that requires me to depress the X button on my controller, I might struggle with that because I'm very used to pressing circle to select. At the moment I'm pressing X, and that's really messing with my head. There is a reason why. I've decided to play the US version of this game because I no longer have a reason to play the Japanese version of the game. I originally played the European version. The reason being that, you know, I would naturally play the European version because Australians have always been grouped in with the European gamers in terms of online servers and the like. And the European version is what was sold in Australia, so naturally I choose the European version. But you see, there were two benefits to playing the Japanese version, and there was one particular reason why it was awkward to play the European version. Now, the relevance of the Japanese version will be explained momentarily, but I will say to start off with that with Monster Hunter Freedom 1 in the European version, you're not actually able to depart on Japanese DLC quests. So if it is hosted for you, that is to say, if any Japanese DLC is hosted for you, and you're playing the European version, you cannot depart on those quests, which is very frustrating. Now, obviously if you're playing the Japanese version, you can depart on those quests, but there was another benefit associated with Monster Hunter Portable, which is Freedom 1, the Japanese version. And that was the fact that the input detection issues that are not just prevalent, but sometimes game-breakingly frustrating in both the European and US versions is much less of a problem. It's more manageable. This is not fucking Azure. This is supposed to be an Azure Rathalos quest. For fuck's sake. That's why I'm using a dragon weapon. What is he using? How am should I say that his name is 07? What is that weapon? It's a dragon weapon as well. Or is it not? Is that dragon? I can't even see. Can we restart? I don't mean to ruin everything. It's just that Atifa is trolling me. I swear to you. I expressed uncertainty as to whether or not this was even the Azure Rathalos quest, and the reason why I didn't know is because they don't fucking tell you. You just have to guess. This is really stupid. Okay, let me just share with you my confusion here. The frustrating thing is that I was in the middle of explaining something, and now I have to change topics while we figure this shit out. Alright. Now, here's the situation. I said, I don't remember which one is Azure. I don't want to post Silver by accident. I remember there being a single quest for Silver in the Forest and Hills. So maybe Azure is the volcano one? And he says, yes. The volcano one. So, clearly that is not Azure Rathalos, and I will explain to you why I was confused. So, the nature of first generation Monster Hunter is that it's very unfriendly to those who want to do a specific subspecies. They try to almost create it as some kind of encounter. Oh, you don't know that it's a subspecies. There are ways to tell. For instance, I can see that the reward that is highest, or rather, the reward that is lowest for the Rathalos quests listed here. Oh no, fucking hell. That's actually my mistake. If I had looked more carefully, I would have seen that this had the lowest reward and contract fee, which would suggest that this is the base version of Rathalos. And then you can see that it's... So, it goes Azure, silver, standard. Why? It's fucking confusing. It's extremely confusing. I'm being driven mad by this shit. Anyway. I'm disgusted by you, Tifa, more than anything else. Alright. I will admit that it was my fault, because I was actually about to explain to you, you know, the way in which you determine what kind of subspecies it is based on the reward and contract fee. But it's precisely because I didn't look at that more carefully that I allowed myself to depart on the wrong quest. Should these things be more straightforward and clear? Yes. But they are not, and so that is ultimately the key to dealing with first generation Monster Hunter. You don't sit here and complain about the way things should be, or the way that you think is best, or better. You just deal with them. You establish a complete detachment to the stupidity of the game, and then you can start to enjoy it. That's basically the best advice that I can give to anyone who wants to play first generation. It's just a little frustrating when you haven't played it recently and you come back to it, and you have to make those adjustments again to the stupidity. Alright, so now we should be joining up on the Azure Rathalos quest. I don't know why they decided to have the order totally disjointed there. Alright. For some reason Doppio is confused. I don't know what is confusing. I did Azure Rathalos. I expressed uncertainty as to whether or... like, he's here. This is the guy I'm playing with. This is him here. He's participating in the conversation, right? And, you know, I've clearly rolled Azure Rathalos, expressed uncertainty as to whether or not this is the Azure Rathalos quest. We engage, and it's standard Rathalos, and then I abandon, and he's confused. So I don't really know if I need to explain it. I don't think I will. I'll let him figure it out himself. Trying to get my wine glass. Alright. So the thing is, it was for both of our benefits, especially considering that we're two-manning, that we abandoned and departed on the quest that had a monster that was actually weak to dragon. Standard Rathalos is not particularly weak to dragon as far as I'm aware. Not in first and second gen. Azure, however, is. So now that we have the monster that's actually weak to the elements that we have on our weapons, we may actually be able to hunt properly at this stage. Gotta have some patience, that's all I can say. I will be monitoring game volume to ensure that it is appropriate. I will paintball you, but not before you have properly engaged it. I don't need you flying away. I have actually fought Silver Rathalos in the Forest and Hills on his own before, and it was absolutely miserable. I will never forget that confrontation. It was a confrontation that took about 20 minutes because I assure you that this monster would probably remain on the ground for, I would say realistically 20 seconds at a time before it would go in the air, be unreachable to Blade Masters, and then fly away. It was so bad. The number of times that Silver Rathalos left the area to just fly around the map. I don't mean around the world, I mean to change locations and then change locations again, and again, and again, and to fuck around in Area 6, ascending and descending and ascending and descending and refusing to actually land. The amount of time that monster had wasted was immense. It was a complete waste. Not just a waste of time, but a waste of, I guess, textures, pixels, I don't know. The point is, it was terrible. Now, to get back to the discussion that I was trying to have before things went south, okay, so we were talking about the Japanese Monster Hunter Freedom 1, which is Monster Hunter Portal. There were two benefits to playing that. Obviously, you can join the Japanese DLC quests with the Japanese version, but as well as that, the hit detection issues of Monster Hunter Freedom 1 are not as bad in that version of the game. Well, I'm pleased to say that a patch was released that could be applied to all ISOs of the game, probably including the Japanese version, but I don't think it's as necessary for that, that actually totally mitigates that issue. It fixes it. You don't have, or rather I don't have, input detection issues after having applied that patch. It's amazing, it's a godsend. It's just unfortunate that it's taken me this long. I probably applied that patch about 6 months ago. 4 to 6 months ago. And I haven't been able to play this game properly to experience it. And the reason why is because there haven't been many people playing. So I now have the privilege of playing this game for all of you without needing to have my knuckles turn white as I grip my controller and my hands begin to shake with rage as I press the triangle button 5 times with no response from my character. That is not going to be happening anymore, and I'm very glad. And of course the reason why I'm playing on the US version is because I now no longer have a reason to play the Japanese version at all. The US version can actually accept the Japanese DLC quests, unlike the European version, and now I can play on the US version without having input detection issues. So, there you are. If it's mildly confusing as to why I've played 3 separate versions of this game, well, I've done my best to make that clear. If you're still unsure, then sorry. I'm just waiting for the right time to get in and attack. I'm using a sword and shield, so when I do eventually go in and deal damage, it will be worthwhile. Except for when he does this shit. Doesn't give me much of an opportunity. I will top up my health. I may end up getting hit though. Unfortunately not. Stop flying into a wall and get over here, please. I'm not too sure if I want to go in and attack him while he's in this corridor, but I will do it anyway. I chose to do it because I realised that I haven't really hit this monster very much. You can't really blame me though, can you? Because he won't get out of the fucking air. Oh, yeah, that's dangerous. You can see that the splash damage of that fireball is immense. Difficult to avoid. Quite shocked by how little distance you travelled with that lunging attack, Rathlos. I suppose it's more than a lunging attack, it's an actual flying forwards, which is precisely why I was shocked to see that he barely progressed in a forward direction. Yeah, Doppio's so bad at playing, isn't he? He doesn't even charge his greatsword, huh? Absurd. Again, I have to refer to this guy as Doppio because that's his name in Hunsterverse. But you see, his in-game name is 07, so should I just call him 07 so that I don't confuse my audience? Or will they know whom I'm referring to when I say Doppio? I just wish people had less confusing names, that's all I can say. Or more consistent names, I suppose, is what I would request. I can't see anything. I could see a whole lot of shrubbery and that was about it. Around the world, it's a sharpening opportunity. Also, if you're wondering why I only have 3 Mega Potions, that's because that's literally all I have. I have been negligent when it comes to the gathering of honey in this game, but can you really blame me? You can only get a maximum of 4 honey every time you visit the farm, and it's quite often not 4. It can be as low as 1, so that's pretty bad. Not exactly a morale booster when you're low on honey, to go to the honey box and only get 1. So, yeah, fully upgraded, that is to say. I want to make that clear. It's not like it's unupgraded or anything. Well, I'm sure eventually I'll start playing properly. That is a nasty combo if ever I've seen one. Look at that. I think it's time to use a Mega Potion. Keep away from me, felines. I will heal again, but I just want to make sure that I can get in there and attack. Do keep in mind that in first generation Monster Hunter, you cannot actually heal with your sword and shield out. That was first introduced in Monster Hunter DOS in a very annoying way in terms of the button that you would have to press in order to do that. It was awful. But anyway. Am I correct in saying, yes, it was the square button. Instead of sheathing your weapon, if you pressed square with it unsheathed in DOS, you would actually consume an item. And that was miserable. It totally turned me off from the sword and shield in that game. Really, really bad. Probably not so bad if you're not used to how sword and shield operates in literally every other fucking Monster Hunter game except for DOS, before and after. But if you are used to how it works in those games, it's impossible. It feels terrible, it is terrible, and it's for sad people. And I'm not a sad person who wants to suffer in perpetuity. I don't know if it's worth chasing this monster down to Area 6. In the first instance, I don't know why he has gone to Area 6 if he's limping. See what I mean? So he's just gone to Area 6 to eventually land, limp, and then fly away back to this area. He's flying into a fucking wall at the moment. You can see how very quickly you can find your time being thoroughly wasted by these old Monster Hunter games. Imagine if I didn't go to the trouble of chasing him down to Area 6. I hesitated because I've had issues in the past. What if I didn't know that? You know, that's the sort of thing that you learn over time when you play these games. You don't learn to get better, you learn not to pursue monsters into Area 6 like Rathalos because they fly away again immediately. Stupid little things like that. Whoa! Jeez, he wasn't happy with that. I don't really want to kill... Who are you attacking? I've totally confused him. He's lost and confused. I don't want to kill this monster too far for Doppio to be able to get his calves, but I also worry about letting him leave this area again. I don't want this to drag on. I don't want to chase him. I want to dispatch him here. And to be honest, I think Doppio will make it if I kill him. Like, even right now, so... Oh, fucking hell. Good old wind pressure. See how I just have to wait for a moment for the wind to dissipate. And then I can go in and hit the monster, for fuck's sake. I should have really continued on there. The reason why I rolled was because I thought that I was out of range, which I was not. Come on. I'm pleased to see, though, that we're dealing good damage. As I said, the health of a... Oof. The health of a single G-rank Azure Rathalos is pretty high. The worse is actually the damage that they deal. It's important to note that single monster quests don't just have an increased damage amount for the monsters. Excuse me, not just an increased health amount, but also an increased damage dealt by the monster that features. It's pretty bad, pretty annoying. We have dispatched the monster, much to my pleasure. I don't know if I have pickaxes on hand. Oh, for goodness sake, I don't want to gather Master's skull. I'll carve the absurdly elongated neck of this rather anorexic looking Rathalos. Sorry, not sorry, mate. I will drop the volume of the game just a touch. Alright. I must have gathered that scale. No, I did not carve a Rathalos and get a Kutku scale. I'm pleased to say that that doesn't happen. I think you can, however, carve things like wyvern claws. That's really annoying when that happens. You can definitely get them in the rewards as well. Sometimes you can get like one monster-specific material and then the rest is generic stuff like wyvern claws and wyvern fangs. Which is, to say the least, insulting when it happens. But that's first generation Monster Hunter. Remember, we must take reward. If you accidentally go down and hit end, that's it. There's no yes or no prompt, that's it. You've just completely foregone your rewards, and you don't even get to sell them for their value, that's it. I say these things for the benefit of people who don't have much experience with first gen. I don't record it frequently, and I know that it's only a small percentage of Monster Hunter players even that play the older games that actually go as far back as first generation. So if I am explaining things that are to you quite obvious, just keep in mind that there are likely to be people watching who are just not familiar with first generation Monster Hunter, and who might benefit even to be reminded if it was something that they knew in the past from having watched my older videos. So, yeah, it works conversationally, but it's also informative. Alright, so we're actually randomly selecting monsters. I do have the lovely random hunt selection system, and it works in Freedom 1. So what have we got here? 2 purple Gypceros. Or, alternatively, we could just say 2p Gyp. But fortunately I know what it means. Tifa was reacting with a disgusted cat face for some reason. Alright. So if it's purple Gypceros, we'll want a fire weapon. Could also use raw, but I don't really want to. I don't have a fire lance yet, annoyingly. I don't know why, but I was sort of in the mood to use lance. I could always use Black Tempest. That's an option, but I do feel like using fire, so I might... Ugh. No, I do have a fire hammer. Let's use a fire hammer. That sounds like fun. Am I happy with this loadout? No, generally when I have a dual monster quest, I tend to equip my auto-tracker loadout. Just for the sake of it. Oh yes, I need to make sure that I am routinely visiting the farm after every hunt. It's very important that I try to accumulate some honey again. I'm very, very low, critically low on supply. Yes, I am speeding up through this, and I can't imagine that you would blame me. If you didn't know why, it's because you cannot skip that. You are forced to watch that. Every time you eat, you have to watch like a 15 to 20 second clip of your food being prepared, which is nice. I've got nothing against Capcom forcing me to watch it the first time in full, but to actually force people to watch that every single time, no matter how long they've been playing the game, that is egregious. Insect husk. Go away. So we should be getting 3 this time. 3 honey. I have had worse. I can assure you of that much. Alright, so what I'll do, and this is a little bit arduous, but I'm doing it anyway. I will put away, not this is required, pretty much. But I will take out a Book of Combos 1, and then make this combination. Well, it's 95%. Let's just do it anyway. Oh, fuck. 5% chance that I'll make garbage, and of course I made garbage. That's just... It's not just unfortunate, it's insulting, but... Again, you learn to live with these things. Alright. Well, now I've got 4 Mega Potions. What joy. Let's go and find some purple Gypsaros. Again, the door is open to anyone who wants to play Freedom 1 with me, obviously. But I don't think we're going to get more than 2 people. You can see that there's no real detriment. We're still able to kill these monsters reasonably quickly because we're both endgame and have good loadouts. That at least is reassuring. 2 Gypsaros. Now, is this 2 poison Gypsaros? I genuinely don't know. Let's see if there is a second double Gypsaros quest that exists. No. Well, it doesn't matter if it's purple or not, to be honest with you. Given the fact that I can't know for certain, it will be acceptable if it's not purple, in my eyes. It wouldn't be all that acceptable, however, if they had different elemental weaknesses. I'd be pretty pissed off at that point. Looks like Doppio is using Fire Lance, which again I would like to have, but do not. That ugly Rathalos lance. Lances and dual blades are the 2 weapon types that I have yet to make all weapon elements for. Drop weapon from that sentence, I didn't mean to say that. Those are the only weapon types that I need the 4 elements for. Is it 4 or is it 5? It's 5 probably, including dragon. Aha, it is 4 elements in this game. See, my subconscious mind knows what to say. There's no ice in this game, so it's just water, fire, thunder, dragon. Thank you for that. And yes, they are purple Gypsaros. Although it can at times be hard to tell because this whole area has a purple haze. These fucking Mellings. They're not even stealing my stuff, they're just pushing me and flinching me out of my attacks. I probably should just fucking kill them, to be honest. Mega Potion was stolen. Well, I'll tell you who's stealing things. It's Gypsaros. Very effectively, actually. My Mega Potions are probably my most precious possession at this point. I don't know if that would have been a lag compensation impact there, but we can always hope. It's worth mentioning in first generation, if you've managed to get your second pound out, it's very likely that you will succeed in getting the third one out, because it comes out much faster. So in that regard, it's actually easier to do lots of damage with the hammer in first generation. But you see, they counterbalanced that change of making the third swing slower by actually giving you some KO value. That was a very good implementation, having KO value, and it's also very good that I managed to get a golf swing on the tail. That would have been immense damage. Alright, so we can see that he's not dead because of auto tracker. That does make life a little easier. Oh, keep away. It's hard to know where the hell I am when the camera's shooting itself like that. Seriously. I can see someone in the Freedom 1 chat is typing, hopefully that... You know, if I could actually run, that would be excellent. I'm going to completely lose my shit with these Mellings. Small monsters are very disruptive to a hunt in general in first generation, but my god. Mellings, the way that they track you and pursue you. Nothing like the later game. Thank you, you did an excellent job of hitting me, but perhaps not hitting the monster there. You were hyper-focused in on me, But anyway. Okay, so the person typing looks like they're not here to hunt, they're just asking for assistance. How do I get Rathalos' Claw? Is it obtainable on Village Quest? Which is a strange question, because not only can that be determined from the internet, but common sense would tell you that yes, you can get a standard Rathalos' Claw from a low-rank Rathalos, whether it's village or otherwise. Still not dead. I wouldn't mind breaking this head. Fuck, that's dangerous. Yeah, sometimes Gypsaros immediately jumps up, which can be problematic. He's leaving! Bastard. Well, at least we have broken the head. That's fortunate. It seems that he's not leaving, he's just decided to fly around a little bit. I don't know why I thought that I'd broken the head, but it seems that that has not happened. Very frustratingly. It is of extreme importance that we fight the one that's almost dead. I don't think there's any identifying characteristics that would tell us that it is the original one. Oh, for God's sake. Give it a rest. I was frustrated by two things simultaneously. It was the fact that I attempted to draw my weapon into a charge, and I'm not entirely sure if that's possible in this game now. But the other, of course, was that I got hit by a fucking bullfinger. God. That hammer had to travel through a lot of monsters. So... fucking hell. I'm just visually keeping track of the Gypsaros we've been fighting. It's quite clear because, okay, now he's dead. Thank God for that. Now to kill another monster. One that is so deserving of death that words almost fail to describe just how deserving this creature is of death. We shall patiently wait for you to finish flying. Once you've found a landing point, we will then resume the confrontation. See, a lot of monsters seem to have this desire to create intermissions where we have to sit around and wait for the quest to fucking resume. You basically have to wait for the monster to stop doing whatever strange activity they're engaging in. That continues very much into second generation as well, I should say. There's no real point to me sheathing my weapon there. I wasn't going to be able to dive in time. I see another boar that is going to be killed. I spotted you. Quite unacceptably, it can take a full super pound from my hammer and not be killed immediately. Yeah, I don't think you can actually pull it into a draw. No, you can, it's just my controller sucks. When I have to press multiple buttons with this controller, it always has issues. The controller practically complains. It says, "No! This is too much input. I can barely handle basic input, much less multiple inputs." Here we go. Good timing. I do want to get another golf swing on the tail. It's a good feeling. There you go. Let's get another one. Where's our death faking? I actually don't know what the health percentage is for when Gypsaros feigns death, but you can assume it's pretty much capturable health. On this occasion, we'll actually know, based on whether or not the quest has completed, that the monster is dead or alive. What joy. Just keeps going and going. I like how Gypsaros just keeps doing it. Thinking, oh, maybe they'll buy it this time. Maybe they'll actually think I'm dead. No. We're just using it to kill you more easily at this point. I'll have to go and kill the other one. The other one's dead, Doomlink. What I meant was I have to go and carve the other one. Doppio doesn't need to carve apparently in this game. Good for him. I say that you always need to carve. No, I understand why. If there is a generation of Monster Hunter where it's acceptable to not carve, it would be this one, because box space is so limited. But yeah. It is a strange pleasure to be back in Freedom 1. A strange pleasure. The process of playing it can be frustrating, but overall, it's got a charm to it. I do find PlayStation 2 first gen to be more charming than Freedom 1, but most of the messiness of PS2 Monster Hunter is still here. It's just not quite as good as a stationary console Monster Hunter game of that time. This is definitely portable Monster Hunter. It's acceptable, but it's portable Monster Hunter. Alright. Did I deposit my stuff? Why do I not just deposit my materials won from the quest in the first box that I encounter? That's a good question, because that would be more efficient. Well, not necessarily, actually. I do have to come in here at any rate, so I may as well use the visit that I'm making here to eat, and then I can go to the farm. No, actually, that's not the way to do it. I need to go to the farm first, because I will need to come here to make my combinations, at least until I have 10 honey in my box. But no, then I'd have to put it... I guess I could put it away when I returned to the hall. Here I am trying to be the most efficient with my time possible. But you see, these things do take so much time that it's... like just the gathering of this honey. Such a long process. That it is entirely reasonable to try and reduce the length of time that it takes to do all this business. To be more efficient with one's time. 3 again, was it? 2 this time. You gave me 3 things instead of 4. Now I was under the misapprehension that I was able to gather 4 things every time. But no, it seems that you can sometimes only have 3 things, and indeed end up with a fucking insect husk. It's a wonder how I'm still sane at this point. Alright. Put the books back. Keep pressing start instead of select to sort the box. When you have this much space left in your box, it's a happy day. It's a happy day. Stop doing that. It's me pressing X instead of circle. Alright, what is the next quest? I will inform you myself. I'm not going to go to the trouble of sharing the screen. It is Kezu. Also a Fire Weak monster. We have not been given Red Kezu. May as well do... Fire. And I will go back to my Attack Up Small set. Stop! Why would Edit Equipment Set be above Equipment Set? Why? It's illogical. You know, just little things like that. There's no logic to it. It's dumb. Literally inexplicable. Like, I don't think anyone could proffer an explanation that would be in any way convincing as to why they would have the edit option above the equip option. Just head through wall is really the best way to deal with that. Head through wall. Alright. So, standard Kezu, probably in this list. The shadow in the cave. So again, you can see the standard one is this one. When you have a second quest that has a higher reward and contract fee, you can assume that it's going to be the subspecies, which in this case is red Kezu. So we don't want Wyvern in the darkness, we want shadow in the cave. But you see, that's one of the things that first generation Monster Hunter, well, specifically Alpha Team. I don't think this is Alpha Team, this is probably Beta Team doing the portable stuff. But, you know, that does originate from Alpha Team. It is their specialty to overcomplicate the things that should in fact be pretty straightforward and simple. I understand the reason why they did that. They didn't want subspecies to be something that you specifically hunted. They wanted it to be more of an encounter. That's why. And that's also why they don't actually have them listed as separate monsters in the hunter list. The problem with that is that sometimes you do want specific subspecies materials, you know? So, why make it so hard? Anyway. Questions that need to be asked that will probably never be answered. Alright. I don't have pickaxes on me, but that's fine. I will live with not resource gathering today. Need to make my way all the way down to the southernmost cave of the swamp. It's honestly bothersome to see the minimap constantly jittering like that. It's better here. I suppose it depends on where you are. But in that previous area, it was just jittering from side to side. Terrible. Here we go, it's jittering again. See that? I feel like I'm on some kind of psychedelic. Anyway. Hopefully we can catch Kezu before he slowly meanders in the air to another location. I wouldn't go so far as to say that he flies. That's probably not right. Come on, look at me. Come on. Good boy. The range of that is so pathetic. Really? That was still within range? I must have just been too late. So the big thing with Kezu is to avoid his wings. His wings take very little damage, both elementally and physically. So your focus should be pretty much everything except the wings. The legs, quite obviously, are beneficial to aim for if you can't aim for the face. So yeah, I mean the body is probably appropriate, but I would say that if you can't aim for the face, aim for the legs, because effectively, aiming for the legs means that you will be able to hit the head eventually once you get your knockdown. Fuck. There's nothing I could really do there. It's one of the things with any slow, late master weapon going up against a Kezu. Sometimes you're just too committed to a combo to be able to get out of the way of that lightning attack. Oh god. As I say, sometimes you just have to take the hit. I will wait patiently for my opportunity to hit the head. Yeah, I had continued the combo though. I was being a bit overzealous. Is he departing, or is he doing the thing where he runs around in a circle for a while? He does that. He gets very upset about something, and decides that he has to run around the ceiling in a circle for a while. Has he come back the other way, or is he... Oh, here he is, yeah. So he does this for a while. I've seen him do several laps of this location. Oh, here we go. Is he going back the other way, or does he want to hit us now? No, he's going back the other way. You have to allow a little bit more time to fight monsters in this generation, because they tend to waste your time. It's not that they're stronger, or anything like that, it's that they will literally fucking waste your time like this. You wonder why some people just equip guns, to be honest. Oops. Don't go back on the ceiling. We just got you down from there. Oh. I'll shield that. Oh, that's right. You can't draw into a shield. Which is annoying. That's the reason why I had to take that hit. I will accept them. I just need to remember that certain instincts of mine, with certain weapon types, are not applicable to this game. That's what it is. I'm glad we managed to get the knockdown there. It is, by the way, acceptable to do upswings here. The reason why I'm not upswinging very much, some of you may have seen in the past me upswinging quite often in Monster Hunter Freedom 1. It is an acceptable attack, but I am less inclined to do it now, and I will tell you why. With standard Monster Hunter Freedom 1, in both the European and US version, when you have that terrible input detection, it actually helps to do the upswing, because for some reason the input detection on upswings is pretty consistent. You generally don't have issues with it. But if you're going backwards and forwards between the standard triangle and circle attack, not the triangle plus circle, so, you know, the forward slash and then the round slash, that's very unreliable. You can very often get stuck, and you're not able to continue your combo. So upswinging, in the past, for me, was very important if I wanted to actually continue my combo effectively. But now I don't need to do that, because I have that patch downloaded, which just immensely improves the input detection. I don't see any issues with it anymore. I guess the only issues really that I can identify are with my controller, which, by the way, sucks, in case you haven't heard me mention that. You should play, Yells. If you're available. It's just Doppio and I at the moment. Really quite low on health. And healing wares, but I'm sure we're fairly close to killing this bastard. It's a bit of role reversal. I've gone to Greatsword, and Doppio's gone to the Sword and Shield. The reverse was the case last time. Or at least for Rathalos, I don't remember what it was for... What did we fight before this? Double purple gypsies. Yeah, I don't remember now. Fucking hell. Sometimes you just have to take it. Well, you say that you were just playing Freedom 2 earlier. But, as far as I'm concerned, you should come here and play this game now. That was my request. Am I out of range? I was just barely out of range, but maybe my character slightly swayed in the direction of the monster. For fuck's sake. I'm tempted at this stage to allow my red health to recover, because I'm so low in healing wares. Shut up. I hope I'm out of range. He's not doing that attack, which is good. Oof. Alright. Decent amount of my red health is recovered. We have a limping Kezu. Wouldn't mind killing him before he can leave. Alright. At least I will be given the opportunity to fully recover this red health. Well, I would imagine that you'll be able to join the next hunt, Yells. We do still have a little bit of time left to deal with this Kezu. One of the annoying things about Kezu here is that he will fly to Area 9, but he will just immediately try to fly off again. He sort of bunny hops from one area to the next. So you have to try and kill him when he comes down each time. Otherwise you'll have to just keep chasing him. It's fucking annoying. Doppio is quite rightly attacking the Bullfanger. Happy to see that. Let's get this bastard. He's going to sniff and then fly away. Next area. I should actually sharpen up. I can see that Vincent is in the chat, the Freedom 1 chat, so I'm going to ask if he wants to play as well. I'd be quite happy to have a team of 4 people. Hasn't happened in a while for me. What the fuck was that? Bad internet connection, obviously, between myself and Doppio. Very annoying. Fucking hell! Well, maybe the monster would be dead if I were able to contribute. But he fucking teleported to the ground and was already limping. Wasn't able to take advantage of the descent to hit the face. Ugh. No, I don't mean one more hunt, I said for the next hunt, meaning after this one. Because like I said, we're gonna need a bit of time to kill this fucking Kezu. Because he's being a bastard. There we go. That's the knockdown we want. Come on. Fuck. You see how he just prolongs the confrontation so much by doing this? What could take 30 seconds is instead taking several minutes. Really? So now we need to wait for him to come out of the hole. Fuck's sake. Alright. Good fucking night, asshole. What a waste of time. It's not like I haven't dealt with it before, it's just been a while, so I'm less detached. Just want to carve. That's all I need. That's all I ask for. Don't ask for much around here. Just the bare minimum. That's the beauty of Vespoids. Despite the fact that the quest is over, and I don't take any damage from attacks, of course paralysis still works, you know. And then I get to enjoy being stuck in place with that. It's ridiculous. Quest cleared. Quite pitiful rewards, but it is about what I expect. I need to try and remember what weapons I'm actually forging at the moment. Obviously, ideally, I'd like to make the Rathalos Lance at some point, but there are probably weapons that I'm in the process of making. I think one of them required a standard Diablo's Horn. No, haven't I made White Disaster? I think that's what required it. I must have managed to get it at some point, because I believe that I now have White Disaster. So that should be fine. Alright. I will reach out to Vincent and see if he wants to play. I haven't played with him in a long time. Long time. Probably 2 years or something like that. What did we get this time? You'd think I'd be keeping count, wouldn't you? 3. Lovely. At least I didn't get 2. Could always be worse. That's the only way to deal with this game emotionally. It is to accept that it could always be worse. And usually that's based on personal experience. Because you will remember a time when things were worse, and you will say to yourself, well, thank goodness they're not that bad this time. I didn't mean to put the honey away. Let's get that back, and we will also get the combo books back. Frustratingly, I don't have regular potions to fucking combine, and guess what? You can't buy potions except from the lady in the guild hall. Seriously, why do you inflict this upon me, game? It's not the end of the world. I can still put my combo books away when I get into the hall, but you know. Why make everything so complicated? Simple things. Yeah, usually when I record a first-gen Monster Hunter, I'm not sitting here complaining the whole time. I've just become used to it, water off a duck's back. But because I haven't played recently, it's all pissing me off again. Like I'm new to the game. Oh well. Combine honey and potions. Oh, there isn't a box here. Why did I think there was a box that sat here? Yeah, so the most inconvenient game ever conceived of is what I'm playing right now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put those books away, and then I'm going to return to the hall. I will do a random hunt to see what... Well, no, I should actually do a random hunt before I depart. Not depart, before I enter the hall. So then I can actually equip an appropriate weapon. Black Gravios. Ugh. Yes, I do have White Disaster. I just saw it there. That's cool. That means I don't need standard Diablo's Horns anymore. At least for now. At least for now. Alright, so we want Destiny's Hand. Also, I've decided. Very good. I have already eaten, I believe. Yes. It's just because the order in which I'm doing things is different to usual. Okay. I will return to the hall, and I will ask if Vincent wants to play. Yeah, Gravios right off the bat. Not great. We shall find out. So, what kind of Gravios was it? It is black Gravios. Excellent. One of the good things about Gravios in first generation is that he doesn't have his sweeping beam. He is very easy to gun in first generation. So, that is one thing that I can say that I'm glad about. I have no issues with Gravios in these games for that reason. He's particularly annoying in second gen because of that sweeping horizontal beam of his, but if you're used to him doing that and you play this game, I'm telling you it's not a problem at all. Not a problem at all, because he doesn't do it. Alright, I don't believe I can shoot Pierce level 3 with this gun. It probably can be shot, but the recoil must be too high or something. I believe I just shoot standard Pierce. Yes, with moderate recoil, Pierce level 3 would be very slow to shoot, not even worth stocking actually. My water shots and 2 levels of Pierce will suffice. Did I forget to... I fucking forgot to put my combo books away. I'm being driven insane. Tempted to fucking sell them. How much do they sell for? Nothing. Practically nothing. Apparently Vincent is still playing Freedom 2 and is helping people there. I'm obviously open to playing more Freedom 2. I did play a bit of Freedom 2 once on the channel. I'd say it was quite enjoyable. Just spilled a little bit of wine. Not much, but just a little bit. Enough to require a cleanup. I'll be back momentarily. Yeah, I knew it. My fucking green screen's moved. I hate that shit. I'll be one moment. It's the great knock-on effect associated with accidentally spilling wine. Delightful. Alright. I think we are just about ready to go. Alright. Let's beat on this Gravios. I can see that all three of us have pretty appropriate loadouts. We're not departing just yet. I'm clearing all quest. I've turned off my keyboard. I'll leave the ball in his park, it's up to him. Maybe there will be some G-rank quests that he can do. Looks like he is happy to do that. Which is cool. We now have 4 people. I'm glad that I waited. The point is that we don't need 4 people. But if there's another guy, it's really incumbent upon people who are hunting in the community to be inclusive. It's better that way. Otherwise, he's left hunting by himself. And I assume that that's why he's willing to join. It's because while we're not doing what he would precisely want to do, at least it's people to play with. I love that rat emote. My friend that I watch anime with accused me of being a normie for having an emote like that. I mean, I can sort of understand that, but I also find it funny, so too bad. I don't consider it to be a normie thing to have a rat with a thumbs up. There's also a middle finger version, which I do also possess. Also, hello Hossein. Oh, I should have actually informed Isle as to what we were hunting, because he ended up having to join, check, and then leave to change weapons. It didn't occur to me to inform him. That's my fault. Speaking of emotes, ladies and gentlemen, and this really should have been something that I mentioned earlier on in the live stream, but more of you are here now, so that's appropriate. In the end, there are now some general use emotes on my channel. Recently, and I don't know how recently, because I haven't kept track, but Twitch now allows for, at least for affiliates, maybe it was possible for partners, I don't know, but Twitch is now allowing for affiliates to basically create emotes for anyone to use. You don't have to actually be subscribed. So I did include some emotes for the channel. Hey Weaver. So yeah, those can be used now. And, oh yes, those of you from Hunsterverse, it's not going to be Peepo Sad, it's Peepo Sad Cat. That is the correct name for the emote. Those of you who are used to typing Peepo Sad are used to typing the wrong thing. That's the best thing I can tell you. But yeah, it's very important that we have Peepo Sad in there. I shall file your guild card and well, is he going to allow me to give his, or is he going to allow me to give him my card? Give. Because if he readies up, I can't give it. Let's see. Is he going to ready up? Unable to send guild card to Isle because he readied up, for fuck's sake. Like, that's the thing that pisses me off the most, when someone gives you their guild card and then readies up in this game, because that means they can't receive it. It's like, at least give me the chance to give you my guild card. Anyway. Alright, so yeah, basically, new emotes, which is good. And as well as that, I'm going to try and hit this prick before he leaves. I can't do it in time. He descended really quickly. In addition to that, subscribers will now have badges for the number of months that they've been subscribed for. Big thanks to Peaberry, who is currently sleeping. He deserves a well-earned rest. He went and coloured a number of icons for me, and the way it works is that from, I believe it's the first 6 months, you'll get sort of like a monster plate icon, and the coloration for each month, or whatever Twitch decides, will give you the next badge. In terms of length of time, it will ascend based on rarity color, as I guess however it was done in 3rd generation is the color scheme that I've chosen. And yeah, it looks really good. It starts off with the plate icon, and then it continues to gem, and then once it hits 3 years, so once it hits 1 year, it goes to the gem icon, continues to ascend through the rarity colors, and then starting with 3 years, or is it, no, it's 2.5 years. Starting with 2.5 years, it turns into a mantle or divine scale icon. So yeah. So yeah, that is the relevance of the coloration. Starts off with basically rarity 1, 2, 3, 4, goes all the way up to 10, and then, you know, once I have to make badges that go beyond rarity 10. At the moment, all of the badges that I have unlocked, based on the length of time that I've been affiliated for, it's actually 10 badges, so it works rather well with the rarity coloration. Once I need to make more badges, I will make new colors. Doesn't bother me. But yeah, just something that I really needed to do a long time ago with this channel, but never got around to doing. Thanks to Peaberry's assistance, I was able to get that done a few hours ago. I don't think we have anyone subscribed at the moment to demonstrate it. Oh, actually, I apparently have one. Why do I have one? You can see that I've got... What badge is that? What, so I've been subscribed to myself? Is that what they're suggesting? That's weird. So I've got a green gem icon, which is rarity 5, but I don't remember how many months that is. If you can mouse over it, you'd be able to see what it says. I can't actually get it on... Oh, it says 29 months. Okay. Fair enough. I don't really understand why it's giving me that, though, because it's not like I'm subscribed to myself. Strange. Isle is done for. Seriously, you don't even need to pay attention when you're gunning a Gravios in 1st generation, because when there's no sweeping beam, as far as I'm concerned, there's no risk. I think it was an entirely sensible thing for them to have added in 2nd gen, that sweeping beam. Because otherwise, gunning this monster just becomes pure easy mode. Because you don't have to worry about bouncing on any part of the monster, quite obviously. And you don't have to worry about dealing with the expulsion of hot gas, because you're far away from the monster, and that unidirectional beam is unlikely to be very dangerous either. So gunning a Gravios is far too easy. This is the idea. Older Monster Hunter is really exploitable. Just by design. I'd imagine he must be close to death by now. We've really unloaded on him, literally. Bit out of critical distance there. Also, there is a certain width to that fire beam that requires a wide berth. Don't be complacent and stand close to it thinking that it's as thin as a Plesioth beam. It's really not. He does have a lot of health. You have to give him that. And now we are actually at risk of failing this quest. 2 out of 3 deaths. Fucking hell. Let's do the best we can. Oh! Do you know what happened there? That was actually a connectivity issue. He snapped onto my position. That's why I took that hit in the way that I did. If by online scaling you mean how difficult it is online versus offline, I would say it's the same as second generation. The biggest change really in this game versus other Monster Hunter games is that a single monster will actually deal more damage than a monster featured in a double quest. That's pretty much all I can identify as a difference. Alright. All requested monsters slain. Didn't even need to use my ice shot, which is actually a water shot. Thank you, translation team. Alright. I suppose we should do the friendship point thing. I haven't been doing that. Just to have a brief discussion about Hunsterverse friendship points. And I will preface this discussion with the following. They don't fucking mean anything, and they never have. But the idea to reset the friendship points, in my opinion, totally devalued the friendship points. And now, apparently it's going to be in seasons, like every 12 months. The friendship points will be reset. It is extraordinary to me that people who hunt primarily for friendship points in Monster Hunter didn't become immediately disinclined to continue hunting for the fucking friendship points, because they just get reset. If they just get reset, what is the point? I mean, if you're accumulating this huge amount of friendship points that's just going to go up and up and up for as long as you continue playing, I can see why that might be appealing. But to know that they reset, like, why do you bother? It makes them even less valuable at that point. It's just stupid. Anyway. Doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I will do the random hunt command again. See what we get. Ugh. Diablos. Not a welcome sight. Pressing the wrong buttons as usual. What do I want to use? Let's use White Disaster. Haven't used it very much yet. Oh, This is an armor set in progress. I do not know what I am waiting to forge for this. I have forgotten. Obviously it incorporates ESP, but there must be another skill at play, I don't know. So this is Guard plus 2 ESP. Depending on the weapon, I really don't want Guard plus 2, I actually want Sharpness plus 1. For White Disaster, I'm going to say I want ESP. Hold on, where is it? Yeah. ESP Sharpness plus 1. In fact, there you are. It has White Disaster equipped. That's the point. So now the Sharpness is much more appropriate. It has a good chunk of white, a good chunk of blue, and that's looking a bit more fucking G-rank than that little sliver of blue that I had before. So, it's hard to really waste the time with guard skills when, quite frankly, ESP... Maybe some people don't consider ESP to be important with the lance. I do, personally. The logic is that even if you may be aiming for a soft part of the monster, because your weapon is quite long, it may pierce into a hard part of the monster. That's the way I look at it. But anyway. If I could get Guard plus 2 and Sharpness plus 1, maybe I would do that, but I don't know if that's possible. That's not because I suspect it's not possible, it's because I literally don't know. I would have to check. But Guard plus 2 and Sharpness plus 1 would probably be something I'm willing to work with. Because if you think about it, if you're getting better Sharpness, that probably reduces the need to have ESP. You're probably less likely to need it if your Sharpness has gone up, so... yeah. This is a white monoblast weapon, yes. It deals water damage. Very strong weapon. We want the Runaway Diablos, the standard one. This is the non-subspecies. Might have a quick look to see if I can actually make a set that uses Guard plus 2 and whatever it's called. Sharpness plus 1. Athena's ass. I say it like that because it's in all caps. It's underscore Athena's, well, not underscore, my brain just exploded. Uppercase, lowercase. So, uppercase A, lowercase T-H-E-N-A, and then ass. Anyway, thank you for that, Doomlink. That was extremely helpful. Now, let's try for Guard plus 2, Sharpness plus 1. Can it be done? It cannot be done. Unless I use weapon slots, perhaps, but I don't think there are decorations in this game, so that's quite absurd that there's even an option to choose weapon slots. Anyway, so that's probably why I didn't make a set like that. You can't have Guard plus 2 and Sharpness plus 1, according to that Athena's, so it's unfortunate, but yeah. It is what it is. Let's lay into this fucking Diablos. Let's destroy it. I forgot to bring Sonic Bombs, which is not out of character for me. But I'm assuming at least 1 or 2 other hunters have brought Sonic Bombs. Let's hope. Otherwise I'll be a sad individual. We'll go this way. This will be faster. Those Apsaros are making a bit of a ruckus over there. I'm not very interested in whatever they're up to. I'm sure we'll have some Sonic Bombs. Hopefully. I can see Isle... Why is Isle up there? Maybe he really wants to break the horns. And that's how he's decided to do it. I've decided I'd like to break the tail. Or cut the tail. Sever the tail. Oops. Alright, well, Isle is telling us to go up there. Very well. I usually don't see people bother coming up here with Blade Master loadouts, but apparently that's how he wants to play it. And he's going to be exceedingly annoying about it too. He's just pinging over and over and over again. Fucking hell. I'm not really interested, but if he wants to, then fine. Ow. See how shit this is? Oh my god. This is terrible for a Blade Master loadout. I don't know why he thinks it's necessary to do that. Just aim for the face while he's here normally. We'll knock him down a few times and we'll be able to hit the face and it won't be a problem. If he starts doing the pinging routine again, I'm gonna get really upset. I do understand what he's trying to do, it's just not necessary and annoying when you're using Blade Master. Oh fuck. Oh, thank you. Bloody Genpray. Uh-oh. Had a little bit of network issues there. Oh, what the fuck is going on? I'm clenching, but... yeah. I don't know about all that. That was a very dangerous moment. My life flashed before my eyes, but... whoever is hosting this monster is obviously having issues. Big issues with their connection. Oh my god, the hitbox of that is complete shit. Was not able to shield in time, unfortunately. Stop it. Any sonic bombs? Anyone? Anyone? I'll try for a knockdown. Couldn't shield that one in time, that's for certain. There you are. It's a bit dangerous for me to continue the confrontation with this sort of health, but... oh, that's just excellent. Look at that. Isle, who was apparently willing to fucking stand up on that ledge with a greatsword, has decided not to come over here and attack the fucking face. I don't know what that's about. Did he just mean to do that as some sort of damage-dealing strategy? Is he for real? So he doesn't actually want to break the horns. I'm not breaking them for my sake. I'm not in need of them. I'm breaking them for Isle. Fuck me. So he actually doesn't even want to break the horns. I can't believe it. It's not a particularly weak part of the monster, you realize. Anyway. That's extraordinary. Oh. I believe that I began shielding there, but perhaps not. Fuck's sake. I was touched gently by a horn, which put me in a rather precarious position. Sonic bomb. And he's leaving. Potion and whetstone. Where's our dear friend, the Diablos, rather? A different loss. Very different, in fact. Get out of here. You dinosaur fuck. Can we please get this monster popping up? Why did we have to wait that long? Do you see what I mean? The amount of time you have to... or the amount of time that you spend waiting for monsters to finish doing their weird shit that makes no sense is crazy. Sonic Bob. Well, a valiant attempt. No. That's my fault for playing like shit. There you go. I'm not aiming for the face anymore, I'm not interested. Oh shit. Well, one way for Diablos to get past your shield is to go from underneath you. That's obviously a strategy that Diablos has on hand. Fucking stupid. Alright. I think that's 2 deaths now, isn't it? I can't quite see. I don't think they give you that information. Unfortunate as it is. No ability to recover maximum health, so I will have to play extra carefully. Nope. Who's using paralysis? That took ages. That took the whole damn hunt to get that paralysis off. And that's with status attack up. I'm not sure about that weapon. I wouldn't say it's ultimately worth it if I get fucking killed. If he went under my shield again, that would have killed me, and I'm worried that would have been quest failure. I'm quite concerned at this point. I have to play very sensibly. Isle is looking very pink. He's got a full pink armor set and a pink weapon. It's about as pink as I've seen a hunter be, actually. There you go. It has to be agreed that this monster puts up a bit more of a fight as compared to others. Pleased to see that it is now dead. Fuck. I just don't find Diablos to be a very pleasant fight. I don't know about any of you. I am not a Diablos fan, never have been, never will be. It's an unpleasant confrontation from beginning to end. Not quite what I wanted out of a tail carve, but fine. We did break everything though. That's always nice. A thorough dispatching of the monster. The pink thing is upswinging me. Managed to get 2 there. I'm not taking those bone husks. That is a waste. Very much a waste. I do need to see what weapons I am forging. Just to see if there's anything in progress that can be immediately actioned. By which I mean, I could actually go and fight a monster that I need the materials of. But if it requires the hunting of low rank stuff or high rank stuff, I'm not in the mood right now. I just want to refamiliarize myself with my progress. Okay, is there anything at all? There's the Darkness Lance, or the Dark Lance I think as it's called in this game. This here must be... Well, I'm making another Gravio Spear, which means that there must be... Oh, is that... Maybe there's a Fire Gravio Spear, which would therefore mean that I've chosen to make that instead of the Rathalos Spear, which is interesting. So I did end up making the Poison Lance, but now I need to make this again in order to eventually upgrade to the Fire Lance. Presumably that is what I'm doing. I will actually keep those combo books in there. Let's go to the farm. In the meantime, I will select our next quest. Or rather, have the random hunt roulette select the quest. 4 horns. No, 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 no. Please re-roll. I'm not doing another fucking Diablos. Or at least not immediately after having done this one. Hey, can I pick the quest? I have the quest. What do you mean? Not the quest. I don't want to do this. Oh, he says incomplete. Oh, fuck. Well. The low rank button, I've already explained to you that we're doing G rank. That was established before you entered the room. I said we're not doing all quests, we're doing G rank. I don't want to be accused of being unaccommodating, but I did make this very clear. Oh my fucking god. We are being forced to do Diablos at this point. So we just did Diablos, rolled 4 horns, and now we've just been given Diablos again. Oh, never mind, it's G rank. What do you mean? Are you saying that you have the G rank quest? I don't mind doing that guy's quest. I'm just not doing 2 Diablos confrontations back to back. I'm not in the mood. Okay. We will do it after Basarius. I don't know why he said it was low rank, but apparently he meant G rank. What? To Basarius? What quest is that? The quest that has 2 Basarios. Christ. Just look at your quest list. Do you think we know the name of it? Anyway. I don't know what to do with this fellow. How much honey did we get this time? Because apparently I never counted as I gather it. 3 again. 3 is better than nothing. I also have failed to acquire potions. I'd best do that. There's going to be a bit of back and forth. Again, I'm sick of that. Because I do want to put my combo books away this time. I just need to be more disciplined when I'm gathering honey like this. The order of, I guess, post-quest organization is, which therefore means pre-quest, in a sense. I mean, once you have arrived after completing a quest, there is a preparation, a set of preparation tasks that must be completed in a certain order. Oh no, I can't actually, no, so purchase potions when I finish a quest, gather honey, and then combine for them. I can't combine for mega potions unless I have potions, and I don't have any in storage because that's a waste of storage space, you see. So, there you are. Alright. Now, I will go back, put my combo books away, change to a weapon that I would like to use, and then we should be good to go. So we've got Basarios as the quest that has been selected. I don't really know what I feel like using against Basarios. I don't feel like using any of this shit. I suppose I'll just use Profusion. Water shards. Oh yes. Let us not forget to do this. That's much of the reason why I decided to order my tasks in this way. It was so that I could come back and put my combo books away. Welcome back, Escaroda. Alright. Ice shots. Did I? Wow, I can't believe that I put those shots away in my box. That's extremely inappropriate. Oh well. Now again, this is just 2 Basarios. This is not the Huntathon. I don't know where I can find it, but we'll try to find it. Slay 2 Basarios. 2 rock wyverns. Sounds doable to me. Apparently Yells is out for this hunt, so it's just going to be the 3 of us. Once we are ready, of course. Ooh. Things are going well. First time I've played Freedom 1 on camera for quite some time. Feels good to be able to hunt with a group of people. I haven't been able to do it for so long that coming back into Freedom 1 has actually been slightly frustrating. But also enjoyable as well. When you play first generation Monster Hunter for a while, you do become completely desensitized to the stupidity of it. And then you come back to it after a while and it's just very grueling. And grating. I can see we've got a lobster hammer, and that thing. God's Island. Sorry, Island of the Gods. Hopefully Doppio realizes that Yells is not coming. Otherwise we're going to be sitting here waiting for someone who's not actually going to depart. Alright. This should be a fairly quick confrontation, and you can see our first target has popped up out of the ground. Both Basarios should be here, the other one is that rock formation. But we'll deal with this one to start with. Looks like Isle was actually lining up with those rocks to get him to... Okay, that's how Isle wants to do it. I understand the strategy, and it's not actually that stupid. These rocks do definitely hurt. I've seen plenty of Basarioses die from these rocks, so may as well get some free damage. Oh, come on, man. Where are you going now? I've played along with your strategy, and now I'm done. Is he just... wow. He's just gonna stand there and do nothing. Fine. He would rather stand there and not hit the monster than not use that bomb, which is counterintuitive, actually. Bomb. I guess exploding rock, I should say. It has a bomb-like effect. And he's shooting cluster shot. I have to try and not flinch Doppio there. Got him in a good flinch here. I'm reminded of the fact that probably the most destructive thing that a Basarios can do in 4th generation Monster Hunter is to breathe those giant meteors. They hurt, and they're very good at hitting you. He only does it when you're in the right place, which is essentially the correct position to be hit by them. So... yeah, it's a bit of a nasty attack. In this game, it's no real problem at all. Sort of like how the Gravios fire beam is essentially toothless in this game as well. That was fixed much sooner than the Basarios flaming meteor throw. There you go, you got your exploding rock off this time, Isle. Congratulations. I was really hoping to have you dead by the time I had shot 60 water shots. At this stage, I'm likely to run out of ammunition. I will not hesitate to admit that the hammer that Doppio is using is kind of bad. It's not very impressive. I tend to use it myself because it's just fun. But it's not really going to have you dealing much damage as a member of the team. Well, nothing of what I just carved from that monster had the words Basarios written on it, so... Not always a bad thing, but I'm not in need of toxin. Well, admittedly, I'm not in need of anything from Basarius. I probably should line up for better piercings than that. It's important that I do this. My ammunition is very low. It's just what I have here, and then my pierce level 1. That looked like a painful reaction from Basarius. There you go. Got that rock taken care of. There's the rollover. Wow, that was much more effective than the last one. Do you know why? Do you know why? What was different between the last hunt and this one? Well, maybe I won't say hunt. Hunt tends to be synonymous with quest. What was different between this confrontation with this Basarius and the last Basarius? Well, it was the fact that in the last confrontation, Isle spent the first 60 seconds of the confrontation not actually hitting the monster, and instead having the monster run into exploding rocks. Now, it seems that when Isle chooses to actually hit the monster instead, things are over and done with much faster. So, who would have thought? Yeah, PS1 is just extremely strong, that's what it was. That must be it.
Oh, okay.
And now, I suppose, we'll do 4 horns. For Isle. At the end of the day, it's a G rank quest, and it's one that he hasn't completed, and he's seeking to complete all quests, so as long as it's G rank, I suppose I'm willing to do it. I'm just not gonna do his fucking low rank egg delivery quest, okay? That's really the point. Doing well at the moment with Mega Potions and Potions. In fact, I don't think I needed to heal at all in the previous hunt. Whether or not I got hit, I don't recall, but I'm quite sure that I didn't need to heal at all. So that's always a good thing. And I wasn't exactly running heroics health there. Insect Husk. Yeah. Just what I need. How about I combine a potion with an insect husk? What if it's like this undiscovered ingredient that works for strange potions that are actually really effective? Potion and insect husk. Someone needs to try it. We're not actually given the chance to try it. We're just told, oh, those things cannot be combined together. Sorry, Doomlink. No. I want to try it. It's important. I need to be given that chance. Stop that. Always pressing the wrong button. I'm letting them know that we're doing 4 horns now. Not sure what I should bring for this. Something that will make it fun, ideally. Difficult as that may be to accomplish. What would make it fun? How about dual blades? Haven't done dual blades Diablos in a while. We'll go auto track. This set really is unsightly. It's really ugly. Considering this is a G-rank set, like a set that is appropriate for endgame G-rank, it's quite astonishing that it looks this bad. Okay, 4 horns, where is it? There it is. I'm so excited. I'm beside myself with anticipation. Alright. I will take a trip to the bathroom, and I will be back, hopefully, with a team that is ready to depart on this quest. This awful quest. I'll see you in a moment. What are we waiting for? Asks Jazz the Gamers. 4 hunters, and also me to stop taking a piss in the bathroom, if you would like to know. Alright. Also, welcome Peaberry. There's No need to be so apologetic. I did realize that you were asleep. I was not sitting here going, "Where's Peaberry?" All is well. I shouldn't say that. All is not well. We now have to fight 2 Diablos. I'm not looking forward to that at all. Alright. Seems that Nagaku Ka has decided to stop speaking to me in Spanish, which is excellent, because now we can actually communicate with one another. That helps. At least for me, I don't speak Espanol. No, have to go this way. So I do have auto tracker. I don't therefore need to worry about losing track of the monsters. Yes, I saw what you said. It was in Spanish, that is my point. Isle has now firmly sat himself down at the top of the ledge with a Blade Master weapon, with no intention of breaking the horns. So those 2 factors, the fact that he's using a Blade Master weapon and also the fact that he doesn't particularly want to break the horns, those 2 things, and he's going to stand there and ping until we go there. I'm sorry if this comes off as rude and unfriendly, but I want to smack that man, or that boy, or whomever he is. It pisses me off. He's going to stay up there and he's going to hit the horns. And he doesn't want to break them. I know he doesn't want to break them. He's doing it for damage. For some reason. Oh, it drives me insane. You see how early dual blades actually forces you to continue consuming your stamina when you are stuck in one place, like for example, dealing with a roar, pressing your hands to your ears. If you're in demonized mode, you will continue to lose stamina. What a joy. Tail has been cut. Oh my god. That hitbox is stupid. I understand the point of it. But this is a very large Diablos, and I'm telling you that head cleared, or rather that tail cleared my head. So it has no business whatsoever having made contact with me. But it did. There's not much I can do about it. Are you saying there is actually a ledge multiplier? Because I don't remember having heard about that. If there is a ledge multiplier, this is really creepy. What the fuck? Maybe Isle has finally disconnected. This is very funny. I've never seen this before. I imagine that if we continued hitting the monster, it would still be losing health, but it was just very funny to see Diablos stuck in mid-animation like that. Oh, I see. So there's no real ledge multiplier then. Well, that's good. Although I was thoroughly convinced that patting the Poogie increased your luck stat. Or some sort of back-end stat like that. Diablos was not okay. He was very much not okay. He was unwell. I have no expectations for the new Monster Hunter game, except that Capcom will likely try to surpass our expectations insofar as how much they're going to fuck it up Am I excited to play it? I would be excited if Capcom stopped making Monster Hunter games and moved on to something else. Whatever expectation I might have about how much they're going to demean the series, I imagine they will go just one step further than that. So, yes. Dangerous. Dangerous territory. There is a Diablo swinging his tail, or sorry, her tail in this case. I am pressing buttons, and I can assure you, my character is not doing what I'm intending for those button presses to have him do. There you go, got a bit of a knockdown there. Not just a bit of a knockdown, but a full knockdown. I shouldn't use such misleading language. Yes, I almost wish that I could induce a sort of fever dream that would allow me to believe, or to experience a world in which I can believe that what Hossein has just said will actually happen. Monster Hunter 6 will be a return to form, and we will have a remaster of 4 Ultimate and Portable Third released at the same time. Yes, and then pigs will fly, dogs and cats will be living together, and Doomlink will, you know, create a VTuber persona. Monster Hunter fans have much to look forward to. Fuck me. A bounce and a wind pressure. Nasty. I wouldn't mind a return of underwater combat just so that I can see all of those 5th gen players drowning in their own tears and snot when they're forced to have to fight a monster that belongs underwater in its natural environment. I'm so sick of this giant swinging sausage of a tail. I've had it up to here with it. Yes, what I would actually like is an opportunity to hit you. Do you know what I just realised? The person who actually needed this quest has left us. I had actually failed to make that connection in my mind when he disconnected. I would have seriously considered abandoning if I had immediately realised that, because we were only doing this quest for his sake. But his internet, shockingly, is worse than the internet that Yells has to deal with. I haven't seen a Diablo's freeze like that in a long time. If ever. There we go. That Diablos is dead at least. Halfway there. Give me your materials, creature of darkness. I suppose we'll make our way over. Yeah, it is faster to go this way, isn't it? I don't have a Farcaster. If I did have one, I would be very tempted to use it. What's the bet that Diablos is going to move to the next area by the time we get to this one? We'll see. Oh no. Yeah, he is going the whole way. You prick. You bastard. As I suggested to you before, the monsters of first generation Monster Hunter have, to the extent where it could be considered art, perfected the wasting of a hunter's time. That is what they do. That is their sole function. It is not to harm the hunter, it is not to cause the hunter to fail the quest, it is merely to waste so much time that the hunter will either abandon due to frustration, boredom, or both, or so much time will have been wasted that statistically it becomes likely that they will have lost their life 3 times in the time that it takes to kill the monster. That's how it works. I didn't realize that 4 Horns was a double Black Diablos. This is miserable. Oh, well, apparently there's a lot of people playing Freedom 2 at the moment. That's cool. They have a full room. It's one of those rare moments. Happy to see it though. Or to hear of it at least. Why are you throwing tranks? Have you been fighting this the whole time? Oh, were you just trying to put him asleep? Put him to sleep, rather. I'm not sure what that was about. I don't get the point. You were... Oh, I see. You were trying to sleep bomb him. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't recognize the strategy fast enough. It's an interesting one. Not a common one. Very first gen in style, but... yeah, I didn't really pick up on that fast enough. My apologies. See, I just hate the fact that I go in there to take advantage of an opportunity to hit the monster, and then immediately, just from the monster turning around, I'm on my hands and knees, unable to hit it any further. That shit's annoying. Should just use a gun and be done with it. Never use a Blade Master weapon, ever. Just sell them all. Only use guns. Maybe he did have sleep knives from the box. That's possible. Well, you see, hey AJ, I knew that was the case for Monster Hunter 1 and G, but I thought perhaps you could make tranks in this game, but you're saying that that's not possible. So I'm going to assume, therefore, that he had sleep knives from the box. They must have been in the box, because we did actually go through the camp area to get here, so he must have taken them. It was my mistake for interpreting that as the monster being tranked, so... But yeah, tranks do work that way in first gen, but you're only given them in capture quests, because that is how they work. You can literally throw them, and the monster will be tranquilized when enough have been thrown. The monster is not required to be in a trap. Shut up. There goes all my stamina. Bit hard to do anything, really. guess what? I might have low stamina, but I do have Mega Juice. Check that out. No, I would rather save this Mega Juice for a Fatalis confrontation. It would be a waste using it here, so I shan't. No. Well, I might aim for the tail here. If that's even advisable. It ended up pushing me off target, which was bad for my DPS. I'm glad that I sheathed in time. Now I can save stamina. And get a fucking tail club in the head. Oh, fuck you. Thankfully, because it's a double quest, the amount of damage that the monster deals is minimal. Look at that, that's almost no damage at all. It's extraordinary. If it were a single quest, that'd probably kill me in 2 hits. Maybe 2.5. Yeah, here's the thing, like, we're doing this quest. I don't like to do this quest under any circumstances. I was willing to be charitable enough to put this quest up for that guy's benefit, and he fucking disconnected in the first 5 minutes of it. So we're actually just doing it for no real good reason. Ugh. The reason was there when he was here, but once he left, there was no longer a purpose for us being here. I don't know if you saw that, but I walked in between the trees and that fucking destroyed my camera. My camera just... Yeah, I can't recreate that, but... The camera movement when I walked through those trees was entirely automatic. A very dodgy wall recovery from the camera there. I've had enough. I've had enough of chasing this prick. You know, I'm just sick of chasing him. Her, sorry. And when I get there, she turns around and I'm on my hands and knees. And then she roars, and then she goes under the ground. I mean, I can't fucking hit the thing. I want to use a gun. I want a gun. See, a tail swing is something I can fucking work with. At least she stays in one spot for some period of time. Hip checks are good too. Nothing I can do about this business though. Gotta love that raw charge combo. A classic. Something that no one really needs to deal with. But we are forced to endure it nonetheless. I didn't see anyone get paralyzed. Perhaps it was a Cephalos on his screen. Can Cephalos paralyze? No, I don't think Cephalos can paralyze. Maybe there's a Gen Prey on his screen. I don't know. I didn't see anyone get paralyzed, but presumably you did, so... Yeah, see, there's Gen Prey all the way over there. So on his screen, he must have agitated them, and they came this way. I wasn't sure if Gen Prey were in this area, but they are all the way over there, if you can see them in the distance. Oh, fuck off. Sorry, Yells. Here I am being greedy. I'm just gonna stand right here. For fuck's sake. I don't have any textures downloaded for this game. These are all original. It's just upscaled. It's a higher resolution than what runs on the PSP, but these are the original textures. I don't use texture packs. The only texture pack that I have is for icons in Freedom Unite, that's it. Because those icons look like mush. It looks like someone, I don't know, smudged something that hadn't finished setting when it came out of the printer or something, I don't know. That doesn't really happen anymore. You know, like an old printer where you smudge the ink before it sets into the paper. What are you doing? There's nothing over there. Just let us hunt you. Ow. Well, if I had the intention of doing anything, my hopes have been dashed. Yeah, Portable Third has some of the most pathetic texture packs I've seen in a video game. They're so bad. Like little Timmy from digital art class in fucking primary school got access to some textures to work with on Portable Third and released them online. It's bad. Sorry, but who finds this confrontation enjoyable? Who? There has to be some person on this earth who finds it fun to hunt this piece of shit. It's dead! Wow! All of that for fucking nothing. Anyway. Somehow that guy actually finished the quest solo before we did. I don't know how. Apparently he... See, Hey AJ called him out and was like, you finished the hunt faster than the 3 people still in the hunt. And he said, I'm finishing many quest. Fast forward plus bombs. What the fuck? He can just solo this shit. I don't know what strategy that is. Fast forward plus bombs. I don't know. He can just do fast forward plus bombs and complete all of the quests in the game on his own, rather than subjecting us to garbage like this. 4 horns? This is terrible. Yeah, he's, like, speeding up with his emulator. P-Berry says, what a loser. Well, I don't know. I think that's a valid strategy if you've broken off in an online quest and you're forced to solo it. I think that's fine, but you know, how he still managed to deal all of that damage before we could as 3 people, I don't know. Maybe he's just very strong. Strangely though, he confessed to having completed it with yellow sharpness, so look, I don't know. I don't know how he managed to do it. Well, I can tell you that that was a bit of a crescendo. I did intend for that to be the last hunt. Now I really, really intend for it to be the last hunt because I'm done. That was annoying. I do thank you all for watching. I will see you next time I'm recording Monster or anything else you'd like to watch. It was good to jump on Freedom 1 again. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye for now.